before we get to installing the rear diffuser, everything's blacked out now. Just yo, what's good, my peoples? This is IllRoller16 bringing you guys another video. Today we're going to install a universal rear diffuser on the All Motor MX3, the white MX3, and later on we'll do it on the Turbo MX3. For now, I'm going to do a universal rear diffuser. I was originally planning on doing a FD RX-7 one because it has a similar curvature on the rear bumper as the MX3, but I'm going to save that for the Turbo MX3. I ordered this off of Amazon eBay. It requires assembly, which we're about to do in a second in the studio. Before we move forward with the install, I want to make sure for you to please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Hopefully this helps somebody out. And continuing on, please keep in mind this is for aesthetics looks. I didn't do no CFD. I'm not an aerodynamicist, but at the end of the day, it is going to flat bottom the car. The rear end of the car. It's going to help with aerodynamics and avoid the parachute effect of the rear bumper. So it is semi-functional. But anyways, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the install. Let's go. Hoi. All right, so before we get to installing the rear diffuser, let me unbox it. I already had started unboxing it off camera, but then I figured you guys might want to see it, so I haven't fully unboxed it. So let me go ahead and do that for y'all now. So I haven't opened the actual packaging, so everything's still in the plastic. This is the rear diffuser off of, you can get this off of eBay or Amazon, just a generic universal rear diffuser. I wanted to originally go with an RX-7, an FD RX-7 one, but they were kind of pricey and they had a long wait time, and for something experimental, I just decided to do this one. Comes with the hardware. Not sure if I'm going to use the hardware or get some additional hardware at Lowe's or something like that. If this is going to rust, it can go with stainless if you really want to do a nice install. All right, so this requires assembly. This is a universal one. You can see it's got the slots cut out for the fins. So one side is like a wrinkle black, has a texture to it. Other side is like a gloss, raw material type look. Pretty thick. We got some hardware. I'll open up the hardware. So hopefully you guys can check it out. You got some L brackets in black. And then you got some hardware to secure it. I don't believe this is stainless. I think this is just zinc coated hardware. Here are the fins for the center. So like I was saying, these, you see the wrinkle finish on one, the unfinished on the other. And these is a go wedged in here to be flush. And then you put the brackets on to secure it. So it does require some assembly. Overall, pretty decent piece, pretty sturdy. They do have an aluminum one, but I went with the ABS plastic because the aluminum one, you had to buy two separate ones to get the same size as this ABS one. So that's the main panel. Continuing on, here are the side panels. I'm just going to open one. Same thing, requires assembly, so you got that wrinkled black finish. Hopefully you guys can check that out with the light. And this one has fins. This would be on the right or left side by the rear mud guards if you have them. That's where these end plates would go. So it's better to have these and not need them than to need them and not have them, in case you want to fill out the whole rear diffuser to cover the whole bumper instead of just the center. So this would attach to the side here, and then there would be another one on the side over here. So as you could tell, this one is about almost 3/4 the size. One more thing also that I decided to get while I was at the junkyard a few months ago, I always have spare parts. I grabbed some rear mud guards. So the white MX3 doesn't have rear mud guards, so I'm just gonna throw a quick white vinyl wrap on this. It's a pretty close match to the paint, and I'll test the diffuser with and without the rear mud guards to see which one I like better. I think I'm gonna like it with the mud guards and then the diffuser tucked into the mud guard. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Before we go into the garage and get this installed, make sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, help the channel grow. Let's go in the garage and get this installed. Hui. Yeah. Okay, so this is what the rear looks like. Let me show you guys what kind of issues we're gonna run into. So first, the spare tire well hangs lower than the rear bumper. That's the spare tire well. This is a straight piece of diffuser, so we have to bend the ABS to get it to lay flat. So that's first issue. Second obstacle is the tow hooks, which is no big deal. We'll cut a slot in on each side, and we'll keep the stock tow hooks. Third, we have to trim around the wheels because it'll pretty much reach until that flat part right up in there. So that's where I'm gonna mount, and we have to cut. And I want to show off this nice rear tie bar still, so again, we'll have to bend the ABS. You can either have the diffuser stick out a little bit or be outside of the bumper, or you could have it inside the bumper. So pretty much just on the underside, which is what I'm gonna do. Okay, so let me show you guys what I mean when I say it runs into that spare wheel well. So you can see it's already hitting the gasket. So this is what I mean. You can have it sitting outside the bumper a little bit, you know, pretty much flush with the bumper, depending on how loud you want to be with it. And then for the end plate, it's going to require some trimming around the wheel and at the tow hook. So same thing here. And then we'll spray everything black so it blends in nicely. Maybe add some red pinstriping. Yeah, it's gonna require a lot of cutting and modification, guys, on this chassis. But it should look good. Should look good when it's done.
So we have to bend the diffuser at this line here, because this is where it hits the spare wheel well. This is the back side, that's the front side. So I gotta undo all these here, hit it with some heat, and we'll bend it over this edge right here. Again, this is a DIY project. I'm not a professional shop or anything like that, so if I can do it, you can do it. We only need like a 30 to 45 degree curve, and it should be good enough to be flat against the bottom. Okay, so now that we got our bend, like a 35 degree bend, make sure to use a heat gun. I used a blow dryer, as you could see earlier, and it didn't work, so I got a heat gun, and it worked just fine. So you need high heat. The ABS is very, very durable. So then next, we have to cut some material out so that it follows this line here, because as you can tell, this was a straight diffuser. It is now curved, so this back slot doesn't go in. So we're going to take some material out and make it adjust to the curve. All right, so that's what we're going to do next. Let's go. We've cut a lot of material off to get the angle right. Again, this is MX3 specific in cars that have a low spare tire well that's in the way only. So you can see it's pretty tight there. Once we put the brackets on, it'll tighten up. Right here we got a little looseness, so we'll just trim right in here where you see my finger. So we could probably trim some off the top here. I'm gonna test fit it, but I think with the brackets and everything, it'll be tight. Show y'all what's going on. So this is one of the regular factory strakes, and here is the new strake. So this is the new strake. And I have to make new holes. So what's left to do now, before I cut out the rest of them just like this, is I'm gonna trim all this excess so it sits flush, and also got to drill new holes. So this is where the hole used to go, and then now with the cut, it's recessed in there. So now I have to drill a new hole for my L bracket. This one worked, and I got to drill a new hole for that one too. So yeah, that's what we're doing. Alright, my peoples, hit it up with some 3M tape to fill up any sort of gaps that there would be, and just seal it off and make sure it's extra reinforced. So now it's ready for final assembly, and yeah, let's go. Install the main piece first. Everything's blacked out now. Just hit it with a quick satin black. Here are the brackets. We'll get under the car and show you guys where everything goes in just a minute. Alright, so I'm going to show you guys some of the mounting points, alright? So we're in the back of the car. So mounting point 1 is gonna be right here. This bolt right there. I'll use one of the L brackets I purchased, or I'll buy a piece of aluminum and bend it and make one. There's the same one on the other side, so that'll be for the other end cap of the diffuser. And then let me see if I can show you guys over here. There's a bolt right there. And I believe that holds the rear brake proportioning valve or something like that. And that's what I'm going to use, that one right there. So those 3 mounting points up front. And if I find anything extra, I'll let you guys know. And then the 4 or 5 bolts in the rear should be more than enough. Let me turn the flash on, show you guys what's up. So this has been trimmed. As you can see, it's not perfectly straight. It's actually curved to go with the lines of the bumper to sit flush. Let me show you what I mean. Here's the bumper. So it's going to go something like that. Right? And you see it's going to sit flush there. So that's what you want. I'll put everything together. Same thing on this side over here. I'll do this middle section, then I'll do the last piece over there, and that'll be it. Clean everything up, smooth everything out. Let's go. Mount it up. You can kind of see it here. This is why we cut along that line there. That's what I mean by the contour of the bumper. So yeah, I got 3 bolts. I'm gonna try to find a way to do 4. So now we're going to mock up this last piece, because this last piece is needed to tie to this, because that might be my 4th bolt. As you can see, there's no bracket, so you either have to make a bracket or add this 4th piece. So that's what we're doing next, and then pinstriping, and we're done. Buscándome, llorándome. We're cutting away about 1/3 of this last panel right there. All right, so now we're cutting for the tow hook. All right, here's the wide angle view. So for this end plate, we got 1/4 inch stainless there. And then we have a 1/4 inch stainless here with the lock nut. And then a piece of steel. I changed from aluminum to steel, zinc coated, that connects these 2 right here. Same right here, connects these 2 right here. And then the bumper tabs, 1/4 inch, 1/4 inch, 1/4 inch, 1/4 inch stainless. I'll hit them with black sometime this weekend. What else we got? We got the bracket down here. So far holding up to the heat. Where's the bracket? It's right there. Little L bracket that I just kind of shaped with the hammer. And then the end plate right here. Bumper tab through the bumper. L bracket from the fender liner. Let me see if I can get it. Right here. Right here. From the fender liner, L bracket goes to here, 1/4 inch. And then lastly, this U bracket that I shaped see if I get in here. With the lock nut on everything. And that goes to the exhaust heat shield. That's my brackets for now. Reaches all the way to the tie bar. It's not perfect, but it's mine. Finishing touches, just cutting some strips of candy red vinyl. Did the first two, and then cutting off the excess with a sharp razor blade. And then I'll hit it with the blow dryer or heat gun, and that'll be it.
All right, my people, so that's a wrap on the rear diffuser install on the white MX3, as you can see behind me. Final decision for now to finish out the rest of the year is the rear bumper splitter with 6 strakes on it and no red pinstriping on the diffuser. Just a better, cleaner look. I like the stealth look, and a little bit of red on the splitter sets it off for me. Maybe next year I'll try the rear mud guards again. I'll trim them a little bit smaller and I'll try those again. But for right now, I really like the way this looks. Before I close out this video, I want to go over a couple things on the rear diffuser, a couple, tips and tricks. Hindsight is 20/20, so some things I could have done better that you don't have to do. So first thing would be measure 3 times, cut once. I did this over the course of like 2 or 3 weekends, just kind of chipping away at it, an hour or two in between work and family time and stuff like that. Second thing is you really don't have to trim the diffuser much at all. I did it to contour the bumper, but honestly, in hindsight, I would just put the whole slab right under the bumper. You won't see it with the shadow. You could even bevel the edge so that it follows the contours of the bumper. One more point also I forgot to mention is the exhaust. I got the stock exhaust on this car, but if you have a modified exhaust, you're gonna have to trim or modify your diffuser accordingly. So keep that in mind also. Just to reiterate, bend the flat sheet, modify the strakes, the strakes to match the curve, bolt it up. Oh, the most important thing. You're probably wondering, do I feel a difference when I'm driving? I've been driving it for a couple weeks with the diffuser, and honestly, I drive a lot of highway miles, so it's usually around 70 miles an hour. And yeah, I do feel a little bit of a difference. I have no empirical data or anything like that, but that's just what the butt dyno tells me. And again, overall, I did it for aesthetics. Stay tuned for the next videos that are coming up. I'm gonna do the rear splitter install on the rear bumper. Also gonna do the side skirts to match, because now I got the front and the rear. Now I need something on the side. I got the new rods for the Turbo MX3, so check out for that unboxing. Eagle rods for the Miata 1.8 BP. What else we got? New POV driving videos coming up soon. And pretty much just getting things ready for the new year. So getting ready to rebuild the motor as soon as I'm able to get the engine out of the machine shop. Make sure to hit the like button. Make sure to hit the subscribe button. Please help support the channel. This is Roller 16 checking out. Until next video. Salute.